Hello, my fellow car maulers. How you doing today? I received my kit of the month from Salvino's JR Builders Club, and well, I'm not going to really do a review on this. It's kind of been already gone over. It's their old repops of their monogram Monte Carlos, but they did some really great decals to do AJ Foyt's car. But this box art spun a few guys out in the Builders Club. Just so you know, you get to get a kit of the month before anybody receives it. So if you don't even know this kit exists, by this time you might. It's been announced, but it might not be available anywhere yet. But you always get a kit early every month if you join the Builders Club. Go over to salvinosjrmodels.com, right? salvinosjrmodels.com, and look up the Builders Club and join up. It's 375 members strong now, but you get every month, you get the kit, and then you get some extra decals, and you get a cool sticker. I already put the sticker somewhere, so I can't tell you. But you get an extra set of decals for the car that you get, and then you'll have a couple of other freebies thrown in there. Lots of times it's some Vermilion decals to do Richard Petty's cars that are not available in the Richard Petty kits. And this is for the 80 Monte Carlo, and this one's for the 91 or 81 Buick. So you get that, and you get a really cool sticker, Salvino's JR sticker. Everybody's getting a pretty big collection of those up now. I already stuck mine up. You probably see it in the background in some of my videos when you see my face. But this one, you're not. I'm not showing my face today. But this isn't a review. What I want to talk about is if you were in the Builders Club, there's a lot of guys that they've already built this model and it's done, and it turned out really great. It's a cool car. It's just everything's all poppy red, a real easy build. But this particular box art got everybody talking over one particular thing: the look of the grill. Because as you know, lots of times all you see is screen. You know, in the model kits, that's all you got is just a little thing that looks like the screen, an insert that goes in there. And everybody wanted to replicate this look where when the sun would hit it right, you could see the actual stock grill behind the screen. And there's a few guys that tried a few things that looked really, really great. But I have done this before. And, of course, I couldn't find my example, so I'm just going to do another one and show you the easiest way to get that look. And it's really simple. Well, let me show you. So here we got the nose to that Monte Carlo. And just for reference, just to show you, I found in my junkyard the nose off of an old built-up. And you see how we just have that grill-looking piece, the insert that goes in there. You get those on the chrome tree, and you put it right back in there. That's just for reference. Now, what you're going to need to do what I do is if you get the monogram or ended up being Revell street car, and what I do is whenever I see them as built-ups or something, I try to snag them up for a lot of different reasons that I'll cover in another time. But here's from an old built-up. It's just a junk nose. I don't need it. All I wanted this nose for is for that grill. And I'm just going to cut that grill out of there, and we're going to put it right in there. It'll fit right in there. Done it before. Let's go ahead and just hack this baby up. And I'm just going to go ahead and use my razor saw. Got to be careful not to cut the part that we want to keep. We're just going to It's just breaking away. I got to be careful. I don't want to ruin that. This is that old. You can tell this is from the old monogram issue. It's like that hard, really brittle plastic. I hate that stuff. You know what? I'm going to do it a different way. I usually don't like using this because, well, quite honestly, it scares the living heck out of me. So I'm going to just use this cutoff wheel, and I'm wearing safety glasses when I do this. I don't usually like using these if I can avoid it. For some reason, they just scare me. I'm scared of them. I saw a guy go right through his finger with one of these ones, a bigger one, at a shop. But even so, I'm just nervous. And they shatter. They shatter so easy. So wear safety glasses. Be real careful using one of these. I hate it a lot, I'm going to be honest. I'm going to want to get stuck and grab. I just want to liberate that grill. I think we're safe right there. Get all these parts off. Throw away. And I'm just going to... Oh, I hate this. I'm serious. I am terrified of these cutoff wheels. So I'm going to stress the safety of using something like this. Always be careful of your hands. See, this thing just wants to take off. And be careful of the fact that these things love to shatter if they bind up. So wear safety glasses. And whenever you're putting it in and out, messing with the chuck, make sure your power is off. That's my PSA for this video. And get this all cut away. There we go. We're good. Okay, I'm so done with that cutoff wheel. Shut the power off. Getting this thing the heck out of here. I totally cut the power off. I have a separate power source. But we're going to be using this for other things. Like, well, this is my favorite tool to use. I always have this, usually always chucked in my Dremel. Now we're down to the final bits. This is where we want to be real careful. I'm going to take it right to the line. This is going to get really tough, but that's where I got my speed adjustments, and I can even slow it down even more because I have I got this plugged into a power speed control. Basically it's on my bench there. I can dial it down even more. Actually, I want it to be a little faster. Let's go ahead and get this thing down to the nub. Just get it right next to the grills. It's actually right where I want it. And you see we're getting a grill right there. See that? We've got a grill, pretty much. The rest of it, you just want to start filing and shaping it to get it to fit in there. I am going to keep on using this. Just get it a little closer. Basically eliminating everything. All the material that was the nose. I'm just going to take a sanding stick and start working it. Just a lot of filing and fitting, and that's what we're going to have to do here. Let's first do the first test fit. And it is way off. We got a lot to do. And I'm going to cheat a little and just use a little more of the Dremel and just work it. Gotta get those edges nice and round too, because it fits in there round. We got a lot to go, but you can see how it's getting in there. We do have a lot to go. You can drill this all out. I'll show you how to do that, just to have that all open, and then you could sand a lot on the back, and if you're really careful and slowly sand and get it to right to the end, and then you'll have your grills there. That can be real brittle. I don't really think you have to take it that far, unless you're really wanting to have that total see-through look where you can see the radiator back in there, which on that box art pretty much all you see is the grill, and you'll see we'll get that look when we get this all done. a little test fit and see how far we are. Almost there. Almost there. Okay, so I spent a little bit of time shaping and everything, and I still got a little bit more to go. And of course, in the middle of this, you got to be real careful because I snapped the thing in half. So I let it set with some Tamiya extra thin. I wanted to use the Tamiya here because and let it set for a while because it fuses it together, makes it strong. Because you got to do a little bit of pushing into this thing when it gets in there. But something else you want to do, you necessarily don't really have to. It depends on the route you're going to go. If you want to have the see-through look, and we're not going to do that here, but you got to slowly grind this all down. And you see there's a lot of material there, but it gets really fragile. If you want to go for that look, it can be done with this. Because it's something that can be done. As you can see with this one's not totally through. This is actually a resin piece. I did it once and I made it in resin, but you can see the 69 Camaro, if you're familiar with the Revell 69 Camaro, if you spend your time slowly carving it out in the back, you can get it to be see-through. That's something you can do. But what I want to show you else, what we like to do is just get rid of this whole thing so it's all open. Whether it's probably better to do this whether you do want that to be completely see-through or not. You still want to do this, so I'll just drill out. Gotta be careful not to mess things up. Get there and get. You can take just a drill bit. You have to be real careful. Get in there and just start hogging it out. You know, I take most of the material out, and the rest I'd like to just get in there. Sometimes you can use the X-Acto knife. Just carve it out. So there we go. We're just getting it all kind of carved out of there. I'll just take a little file here. Just kind of clean it all up. So I don't know, I've had these for a long time. They're little sanding pencil deal things. These get real handy, and since we need a little rounded area, you get in there and just kind of get the round edges taken care of. Another good thing, whether you're going to be going through wanting this to be all hollowed out and see-through, it's still nice to have this because it's just easier to get working with this. Because when you get that in there, I always like to make things really tight in there. And when you get in there, it's very hard to pop it back out, so you can go behind there, and when you get it, kind of fit it in there and it's really tight, you can pop it out by just pushing from behind. So now we're just going to continue to work on this. Yeah, see, we've been doing a lot of filing and fitting, and it's really, really tight. I really would like this thing to be a little more free flowing through there, because I want it to set back a little bit so we can fit the screen in there. Something else I do, I like to get it to where, like towards the back of it, when I'm sanding, I'm doing it at an angle so that, you know, it tapers in. It just will make it easier to fit through the hole. And I think we're almost getting it. It's almost there. We're getting close. Now, I know somebody mentioned on the group that they were going to actually take one of those stock noses from the streetcar kit and just put it on there, and that's something you can do, because quite honestly, they They're very close, but you know, it depends on what direction you want. And also depends on the years that you're making. Like the street stock one has the Monte Carlo logo on there, and there were actually, you could see that Monte Carlo logo on a lot of the earlier ones because they used an actual stock factory nose. There we got a nice fit into there. But I just wanted to, you can see how that looks. It's fitting in there nice. But I've got myself the original piece that's supposed to go in there, the screen, which what we're going to use that for is a pattern to cut out real screen. And some of my favorite screen to use is you can buy this from a well-stocked hardware store in the plumbing section. These are basically for faucets. It's the perfect size screen, and it's usually big enough. I get the big disc here. If you can find it in a sheet, that would be wonderful. That doesn't always work out, but you can see how see-through it is, and it's just perfect 24 scale screen, and it's already metallic. There are some really great screen meshes out there. I've had some of that are like nylon, a little easier to work with in some cases, maybe because it's a nylon or kind of like a plastic, but then you got to paint it. This you don't have to worry about. So one thing that I'm going to do is I will make a pattern with some masking tape, put that right onto there, and I'm going to cut me a pattern. There we go. Usually you can just look at that. So we've got ourselves a good pattern. Follows the original piece. Then we want to make sure that when you lay this down, you have all your weavings go this way and that way. You want it to be perfectly straight. So probably wouldn't hurt to do this. Let's get that out of the way. Since I have all these lines on this nice little work mat that I got from Andy's, ordered from Andy's Hobby Headquarters, you can pick one of these up. Sometimes he's doing special offers where he'll give one of these away for free. So go on over to Andy's HHQ.com, order yourself some models and some model supplies, and have them kick in one of these. They're going to be coming out with bigger ones too. Using the lines to make sure that everything is straight, and just so this kind of stays there, and I can get this on there. There we go, get it out from under there. Now we got that pattern there to follow. Looks like it'll be pretty good. And me, I just take some of my little scissors. This stuff, even though it's metal, it cuts real easy with scissors. There we go. Got ourselves our basic shape. It's a little curved, but you kind of get it into shape where he's in there, and then we will just, if you lay that in there, that's where you want that stock grill to be just a little bit behind there, and that's the look we would go for. You can see it behind there. It's not glued in, but you gotta use such a small amount. Let's get my, and just touch there and there, green in there. All right, so we got it glued in. You can see when the light hits it right. I only got it glued in the corners there. I didn't really want to glue it totally in because this is not a finished piece. I'd do it a little different. But however you can figure out how to glue that screen onto that piece where it will just cover up. But if we can get the light in there, you can kind of see right through there. We go. We can get the look we're looking for. It looks just like the way that box art looked. How cool is that? Well, there's a do-it-yourself, or maybe I'll come out with the product. I don't know yet. I'm still working on all my resin pieces that I want to come out with. And that could be on a part. I would probably do a package of 5. I wouldn't sell them individually. It just wouldn't be worth it. But we'll see. If it's something that you guys would like to have, just to make modeling a little bit easier. But if you want to take a crack at it yourself, again, you know, you're killing an entire kit. But how many times do you do that? You're killing an entire kit for one little piece. But like I said, that was a front end off of a build-up that I purposely bought the build-up for the parts and for that grill. So there you go. That's how it's done. That's how I do it. So I want to thank you all for watching. Thank you all for subscribing. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. If you like this and you learned something from this, go down in the comments below. Give me your take on that, and if you'd be interested in a piece like that for your building. And every time you make comments and build up conversation down there, it just helps the video out. Give it a thumbs up. That helps us out too tons with getting this channel to grow and grow and grow, which it is. I want to thank for everybody for their support. Going on to the Teespring store, buying the shirts, buying the mugs, everything has been wonderful. It's really getting huge. And it's really helping us get to where we want to be. And as you can see, more content is coming out, and even more will come out. It's allowing us to do some things we've got in the future planned that is going to be really, really cool for the hobby. And if you want to see content early, please check out our Patreon. If you would like to become a Patreon producer, please do. We'd love to have you. We have a lot of fun over there. We do a lot of interaction and talking. And sometimes you get to see these videos before everybody else does when you're a producer. Go check it out over on the Patreon. All the links are down and below. And you know what we say here. This is me, Lucas C. Keep gluing those fingers together and keep cutting that styrene. See you in the next video. Thanks for watching.